collective intuitive reading. So this is for the energies of December 9th through to December 16th. The divine guidance and loving clarity for the Altar Love Collective. Divine guidance and loving clarity. Anyone who's tuning into this video, may it serve you. Divine guidance and loving clarity. I put these videos out to the Patreons first, so they get first access ad-free. Top tier patrons get discounts on services and some intuitively guided breath work and meditation sessions as well, and yoga, a little bit of yoga. Okie dokie, let's get into it. Let's get into the divine guidance and loving clarity. We start off with a 10 of Cups. That's really nice. Moving to calmer waters. So for some of you, this is to do with probably a familial situation starting to smooth out, and or, yeah, feeling that there's a sense of calm, which makes me think there might have been some turbulence in these last few months. So happy family, or a really joyful sense of community. And again, we're in that kind of festive season. I do see a 3 of Cups in the reverse over there, which is making me think just be aware of overdoing it. We can probably all testify to that and know that it can kind of put a damper on some of the vibratories. So just be aware. That feels very specifically like alcohol to me in this moment, that this is to do with just overdoing it with alcohol. But of course that can just be socializing too much, not getting quite enough sleep and then ending up feeling run down. So just being mindful of that. But again, a really positive energy coming through this week as far as like feeling good at home, feeling good with family members, close relations, friends, all that. For some of you, I'm getting this message that you're walking away from a belief system. You're walking away maybe from, this could be an aspect of like denying your intuition. You're kind of done with denying your higher power. You're walking away from that. So in that, with that energy there too, with that 3 of Cups in the reverse, I am getting a sense that if this little storyline is resonating with you, the walking away from an old belief system or an old sense of self, or there's a little bit of melancholy, just saying, okay? So there's a sense of, for some of you, that there's a big release happening, a letting go, a walking away, and it's, for some of you, it might even have to do with a belief system around of what a happy family looks like. So, and then for some of you, there's this fast-moving energy coming in, so let's get some clarity on that. There's a Knight of Swords. Okay, yeah, there's definitely for some of you a decision that needs to be made, possibly around two different people. There's the what supports this energy is the Death reverse and a 2 of Sword in the reverse, which tells me that you're feeling that decision, like you're definitely getting ready to make a decision, because, well, for some of you, if this is resonant and you've been maybe dating 2 people, or just in that phase of having a few dates with a few different people, that's wearing thin on you. That cycle, as it were, might be coming to a close. And this looks like there's definitely some viable options, right? So for some of you, it's more than likely that you're going to be making a choice around somebody that you're dating. And again, there's 2 viable options, certainly, but one of them probably feels better, or one of them might be more mentally stimulating. One of them might be more emotionally fulfilling. But, there's a decision here that you're wanting to make about an opportunity moving forward. And for a lot of you, because it's a night energy, this feels like love. This feels like, dating, romance, love. So there's likely a message coming through. Yeah, some of you have been definitely dating quite a few different people here, and it definitely looks like there's a message and then like a cut. So you're making decisive decisions, and you're probably sending that message. If it were to be like a reverse situation, you're gonna get a message. So say you've been dating around and you're not really sure, one person's gonna maybe ghost or just send a message and say like, I'm out. And then you're likely to make a decision around these sort of final two that are in the upright that are still interested in that regard as well. There's the decision card again. I knew that was going to come out again. So yeah, this is really just about making a decision with regards to somebody you're dating, and or if you're dating multiple people, you're getting to that point where you're like, I'm bored of this now. Like, I'm bored of just dating. I want to probably move something forward more significantly. And again, an inner message or receiving a message, or even just like having chat with a friend, and then a friend says something that's like, ding, that is illuminating this situation for you. For some of you, it might be the decision to just not date anymore. You might just be, I don't want to date. I just want to hang out with family, or I just want to have a good time at home. Either way, there's a nice shift here around intuition and inspired action. Especially with this card being our first card of this reading. And then there's the High Priestess here, and I'm looking at the Hanged Man reverse, illumination. Having some sense, this is where I'm getting a real sense of calm for the week ahead, where, regardless of which one or maybe all of these different storylines resonate with you, there's definitely a shift, like choosing joyful, happy family community, being mindful of overdoing it on the social front. Oh, I did say booze, that was coming through because it's a festive season and there's going to be a little bit more partying. But of course that can be drugs, that could be food, of course, again, holiday season, overeating, over socializing, and just feeling wiped out. So there's a little, like, just be aware of that. And then again, there's a real sense of moving into calmer waters with regards to the home life, and for those of you with people in your home, a family life. And then for some of you who are dating and have been maybe exploring options, there's a choice here to be made. Some choices are going to be made for you, but there's definitely a choice. And at one point I thought, or perhaps for some of you internally, you already know the choice you're going to make. And then send that message and deliver that message. That could loop around to like finally moving towards a sense of calmer waters, but joyful. There's a wellspring energy when the home life and when the family life is loved and supported and secure and stable, regenerative, creative, etc. There is a wellspring. That's the word I'm getting. There's the sense of our ability to self-resource. And so this is a divine healing for a lot of you taking place, which again could be connected in some such ways to these energies of maybe letting go of what you thought it was meant to look like, right? Certainly at this point for some of you, letting go of not listening to your intuition, letting go of things that don't serve you, letting go of things that just don't feel good to you anymore. So there's a gentleness from within integrated wisdom. That integrated wisdom is coming through a lot with regards to moving through phases of transformation, emotional healing, and all that. So for some of you, there's maybe that's part of that kind of melancholy as you move forward. You're moving away from old parts of yourself that didn't trust, that didn't think you knew what was right for you, etc., right? So now you're maybe feeling a bit forlorn. However, with that joyful happy family card, that's the central energy still for this reading. So any, whether you're making a decision, whether you're walking away from something, that's also making a decision. What you're going to be releasing is going to help you move towards this joyful sense of self, this joyful home. When we have that joy, it's often relatively natural to ground that same joy into a community, right? Into a community of people, whether it's friends or family, working environment, but that's a total energy, right? This energy really does support our ability to keep regenerating and to keep grounding and to keep having offerings of love, certainly within our intimate circle. There's a priority I'm hearing, as in, there again, what we might let go of are some of our old belief systems around priorities. That's what we value. And again, that's the connection of like, that's part of the moving to calmer waters, right? Taking ourselves, mentally speaking, to places that feel better with the people that we love. And that's a conscious act, right? That's a conscious choosing, because it's after a 5, which would be kind of battle or a lack of harmony, conflict, right? So that's after going through some cruxy, difficult times. There's a sense of triumph where maybe we have lost stuff, right? That's very, very likely. And yet we're still here. And so we're moving forward, and we're delicately putting those things in place that allow us to flourish in the home. For some of you, I'm getting this insert of, in a real way, in a practical way, and of course within the festive season timeline, as it were. We're like, part of it could be just decorating the house with the family, but side to that, I'm getting gardening and DIY. Like, some of you maybe have a bit of extra time and you're decorating the house, or you're putting a little bit of last minute touches into the garden. There it is. Certainly, like putting up those Christmas decorations or doing stuff like that can also help to bring the family together. For some of you, there's possibly a little like less work coming in, I'm getting. So that could also be part of that 3 of Cups reversed, of like not overdoing it. So for some of you, you're again focusing on that joyful family, like giving people lots of love and attention, maybe because there's a little bit less cash to splash around. So you're tempering the spending. For some of you, there's this positive message coming in, and I do get a sense it's from a child. Maybe like a little surprise, I'm coming home for the holidays kind of thing. So I'm going to start to pick up from the other decks for additional guidance and, of course, loving clarity. In any of these storylines, or again, just an overall general view of things for the week ahead, December 9th to the 16th, divine guidance and loving clarity, any additional messages? Yeah, for some of you, so that little insert of the, if there's a child or a message that comes through, it's a really positive message. For some of you, it could be a message of pregnancy. So whether you're getting the message that you're pregnant, and or a child of yours is pregnant, so there's a fullness of the world. There's definitely a sense of birthing with that world card, new world. This woman is full. She's got planets and things in her hands, right? She's very powerful, but very contented, contained, and of course, full of life. There's this, she looks like she could be pregnant, right? So, and of course, the world is a completion energy, so that would, of course, be indicative of these sort of big culmination cycles. So pregnancy is one of those, right? Because when someone is pregnant, it means their life is forever changed. So whether it's you or someone younger than you, a child or a niece, a nephew, right? Somebody younger than you that's, guess what, mom? Guess what? I'm preggers. And it's like, ooh, celebration. Ace of Cups, new love. Nice energy, you guys. Okay, there's clarity here as well with that energy of the walking away to listen more to your intuition, and or walking away from a belief system around happy family, possibly love and marriage. And this is really interesting because this is quite a clear part of, I think, what some of you are letting go of around the context of family home life is maybe some idea with regards to just a union, as far as like finding the love of our life, or finding this one other person to contain the whole. That's in the reverse, which makes me think that's what we're releasing. And instead of, okay, so there's still a happy couple in this 10 of Cups, but there's children, they're in the upright, there's sun, there's the rainbow, whereas this cup in the reverse is just this couple in the water, which makes me think that there's this sort of codependency connection. So a lot of you are releasing, which has to do with High Priestess and denying the self, right? So we merge with another person and lose ourselves. So there's an aspect of the paradigm, hence again, where you're walking away from all of this over emotional investment that denies your intuition. Basically, you're setting yourself free, which is all at once possibly sad. There might be some grief, but there's also like a potential for real fun. Hence 3 of Cups. Don't overdo it, right? There could be certain charges that come off the back of this release that feel really exciting for you, as far as like finally releasing this old paradigm around what you thought you needed, knowing full well that what you actually need is fuller, more aligned, just more alive, right? It's not in the watery depths. It's not like maybe you're clearing a lot of shadow work phase of and that you've been doing within relationship. And again, I really see that loop. There's all this prosperity and abundance and fullness coming in as we release this old paradigm. So you're no longer looking for the one. You're like embracing the fullness. And that brings me down to that decision. So for those of you, there's another storyline here of like, I'm dating around and I got to make a decision. Like this, there's too much too much energy, or too many suitors or something. Some decisions will be made for you, but you're definitely coming to a decision point, as in there's probably one person you just naturally want to hang out with more, or one person that kind of stimulates the energy more. I mean, you don't need to rush that decision. Just, there's a centeredness here of knowing. Yeah, definitely don't rush that decision. Don't feel like you have to rush it. Again, it's just tarot, you guys. It's just a way to connect with all y'all lovers and get through life with integrity and compassion. For some of you, even interesting here too, like if you're having a difficult time making a decision, you don't want to rush, there's this assistance card. So for some, and again, it's like getting a tarot reading, or getting an astrological reading, or a relationship coach, or just something you're guided to do, asking for help if you're having a hard time making a decision around a potential partners, like as in an astrological or human design reading where you look at the synergy chart. Because for some of you, I do get a sense that this isn't just brand new. This is a few dates in, like, and you're wanting to make a decision because you're feeling that pull around probably one person more than the other. And it could be that you're left with one, as far as decisions being made for you. Something very mentally stimulating, and possibly one is more fast moving, or Okay, let's get some more clarity here. Divine guidance, loving clarity. I'm just getting that sense of take your time with it all. Let it all come to you. Let things kind of wash through you a bit before, again, feeling any sense of pressure to make fast decisions. Knowing your worth, feeling really grounded with that Buffalo card. And I mean, that's really central to a lot of what's going on in this reading as far as really anchoring into that feeling, knowing space. Yeah. So for some of you, there's something gentle about this layer here of like, there is a rebirth happening and there is a transformation and there's positive things coming in. There is a sense of success and like rebirth, right? But there again, there's something here about our permissioning ourselves to take our time. At the same time, there is this gentle nudging to start to put yourself out there. I feel like this could just be for like one specific person. Like, you know, you're meant to write that thing, or you know, you're meant to put something out into the world, publish a website, put your art out, whatever it might be. And you've been probably in a phase of hermiting. You've been likely fairly, you've spent a lot of time on your own, and again, you know, you're being asked to express something, create something, put something out there, like you're getting divine downloads per patch. But again, I'm just, there's this gentleness where it's like, just go easy on yourself, my lovers. Like, there's no rush. At the same time, I kind of want to say, but do it, do the thing, do that. What have you got? There's in that regard, there's nothing to lose. Like, shout it from the rooftops. You've got the key. You're the inspiration. You're the divine download kind of thing. And I really do get that sense of like, that's part of that rebirth mode. Like, starting to release things, starting to express things, starting to let things out is a big part of that loop of healing to finally be free as the butterfly, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna pull that. Another decision card. Interestingly, am getting a message that this is a decision possibly for some of you around travel. Specific, it's like going to see a daughter. A decision around, yeah. I just want a little bit more clarity on that Hierophant energy. Is there any more messages for the Hierophant? Yeah. This is like this is like affirmation to me around, like, if that's resonating, you're being guided to share, express, shout something from the rooftops, or write something. Publishing, right? Like press, or simply just writing something and putting that writing out there, or making a talking video and expressing it out somehow. There's a strength. It's almost like a commitment to your spiritual strength. Yeah, I feel, because there's this Three of Swords. I'm like, this is possibly to do with the heart healing stuff. Overcoming grief, overcoming heartbreak. A rebirth, growth, moving forward from that spiritual devotion. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so for some of you, there's, again, this quite clear message of whatever you've been healing. It's almost like behind that healing is a deeper growth into the earth so that you can keep growing. And the backbone of that is this new beginning to move the spirit forward. And part of that moving the spirit forward, for some of you, has to do with your creative work, creative expression. Sorry, guys, I keep having to clear my throat. Probably haven't had enough water. So, so yeah, there's this healing. And again, there's, because that Three of Swords is in the reverse. So the heart's been healed. You've secured the healing of the heart, and now there's this rooting down, which is all part of some sense of new beginning and a spiritual wisdom that's behind you now. Deeper roots of awareness. Did that come through this reading, integrated awareness? Because again, whatever it is that you're here to share, there's a real benevolence and strength and power and beauty, and for some of you, even a romance with regards to the way you're being guided. The infinity symbol is here as well. Really being the power and the voice in your world, right? Maybe for some of you, there's a sense of connecting to the divine, you know, connecting to other worlds. That's part of what you're communicating. For some of you, it's directly connected to healing the heart. Regenesis, spiritual guidance, being movement, ushered, guided movement forward, right? And then for some of you, there's that assistance card. So what was it? It was more that decision. In the whatever way you might resonate with, like some decision you have to make. It's not, there's, again, it's maybe around dating, or it's not, it's still very much a decision. Some of you, I do think you kind of already know what decision you want to make. But again, the assistance could be getting an astrological synastry. I think it's synastry chart. You know, where a professional astrologer will look at the chart, look at how it connects, the goods, the bads, whatever. But again, it could be calling on an assistance, right? Calling on assistance from up above. With regards to decision, travel, I'm hearing some of you, it could be about travel. And then let's get clarity on that. That's an interesting, so you can't make it up. Dead end, and then I look down and it's breakthrough. So, so now I'm getting this very, very general overall theme of this is a sort of a dead end. That's the best way to describe it in a sense. But for some of you, there's just areas of life where we're not going to go down that route anymore. We can't. Even with regards to, again, like a perspective around love and or family. Intuitive connection. I can't deny that intuition anymore. Or I can't do this thing like this anymore. I can't work like this. Or I can't hide my voice anymore. You know, I can't limit my creativity anymore. I can't deny what I'm here to express. I can't, etc. So the dead end is pure energetic, like whether it's you making a decision or the universe making a decision for you. There's stuff going on in our lives that are coming to a finale, coming to a close. And then I mean, I can feel that energy with regards to a collective and collective narratives, as it were. So we're building up to this, like, no more. This has got to end. And as much as it's a construct, it's an energetic narrative that's within all of us on some level that we're having to close so that we can break through into a little more this grounded energy, a little more this like full of life, right? And then really letting those cosmic energies move us forward from a state of faith and inner power. I really, for those of you too, that expression coming out of hermit mode, that's important for some of you. There is something, that you're really being guided to express or to do, and I would say do it. I say that with a bit of emphasis because the Father Wands in the reverse, which makes me think some of you could be really dealing with a bit of naysaying in the mind or inner critic, or like, who am I, right? Why does it matter? I don't need to express that thing. But part of like the dead end energy, or like, as in, no one's going to come in there and force you to do it, but then you'll just stay stuck in that kind of teetering limbo, as it were. So the expression, whether however that looks for any, sometimes it's just writing a letter. We don't have to do anything with it. We can burn it if we want, but expressing is the actual physicalization of making the artwork or writing the poetry or that letter or making that video or whatever it is. That's the act, right? And ultimately that's the greatest lesson for all of us, is the detachment from the outcome. It doesn't matter who sees, where, what the outcome is. Part of the power, part of that breakthrough is the actual doing. For some reason I'm thinking of like my yoga journey, as far as like being guided to do that thing, but the path would not have unfolded if I didn't actually do the practice. So you read the books, but if I just talked about it to people, about, oh yeah, this yoga is cool, I've read a lot about it, it would have been a very different outcome than what I did, which was do the practice every day. Does that make sense? So it's about doing the thing, taking the action to express. And this, it's not yoga related. For the majority of you, it's more something to do about expression and creativity, growth and regenesis, and possibly for a lot of you, something to do with healing the heart, healing from heartbreak, and then regrowing maybe new roots or something like that. Oh, look, my heating just came off and my growling stomach. Okay, well, I've pulled from all the decks, and that's a week ahead collective energy reading. Let me know if any of that resonates with any of you. I love to read your messages, get to know you, and thank you for supporting All to Love. And oh yeah, and don't forget, there's still plenty of time, especially for those of you in the UK, to order for the holiday season. This is the box jumper. They're actually out of stock of quite a few of the sizes, but hey ho. And yeah, mostly just look after yourselves, my lovers. I'll see you next week for a week ahead reading. Check out the daily readings. And let me know, of course, if you'd like to see a year ahead where I can do all 12 signs and look at the 2024 year ahead. Of course, I'll be publishing it to the Patreons first. If you want to check out the Patreon community, there is a 7-day free trial. But that's a really great way to support the channel and get more discounts, and also just sort of feel a little bit more part of this amazing community. So again, thank you guys so much. Have a great week ahead. I'll look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care. Peace out.